You're watching The Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control.
What better way to start off 2023 than with a jam-packed edition of The Penny Hardaway Show? We'll recap the last games of the 2022 calendar year, sit down with the Lawson brothers, and look ahead to East Carolina. It's The Penny Hardaway Show. Let's go.
The game is on.
The Penny Hardaway Show is presented by Cook's Pest Control. You don't have to live with pests. Call Cook's Pest Control and get a free quote today. Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams. Tiger Bookstore, the official merchandiser of Tiger Athletics. AutoZone, when you've got car trouble, you want help from number one. So if you've got a battery problem, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. And is supported by your Memphis area Toyota dealers.
2022, the non-conference schedule all turned out to be excellent. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Dave Woloshin.
I'm Matt Infield. Let's check out the last highlights from 2022 against Alabama State and USF, plus a little something from Tulane.
Memphis native and former Tiger assistant Tony Madlock making a homecoming as Alabama State's head coach. But Kendrick Davis wasn't interested in all of that. Fadeaway jumper, true. 14 points, 12 assists for Davis in this one. Now it's time for the KO dunk show. Jonathan Lawson throws it up to the big fella. Two-handed jam there. And this one is nasty. KO turns this dude into an NFT. Tigers roll 83-61. Now to the conference opener against USF. The legendary one and only Jarvis Greer, honored by his alma mater after a 43-year career. The homecoming in this game was for Tyler Harris. The former Tiger caught fire in the second half. This triple from Cordova gives the Bulls a 10-point second-half lead. But as he has so often already, Davis saved the day for Memphis late, and he was huge defensively, coming up with 4 steals in the final minutes. This one makes it a 76-72 game, just over 2 to play. Davis from long range, bullseye. Tigers take a 1-point lead. Let's put an exclamation point on the comeback. Davis to DeAndre Williams for the lob and the finish. Davis with 14 points in the final 7 minutes. Wasn't easy, but the Tigers open conference play with a 93-86 dub. Now down to NOLA for the conference road opener against Tulane. Second half, Memphis getting out in the open floor. The long pass to Williams, easy two-handed jam. Tigers up 5 at that juncture, but it was all Green Wave from there. Jaden Coleman delivers a dagger triple in the final 2 minutes. Memphis drops to 1-1 in conference play as they fall at Tulane, 96-89.
Coach, you have talked about challenging yourself in the non-conference. I would say 4-1 against the SEC, 6-1 against Power 5. Is that a pretty good bar that you've set?
That's awesome, Dave. That's a huge bar that we set for ourselves, or a high bar, and I feel like we reached it by beating those teams. We know that the season isn't over, but we wanted to challenge ourselves. We're playing a very tough non-conference schedule, and I'm very proud of the team and the staff for getting through that the way we did.
If I would have told you at the beginning of that you guys would go 4-1 and the only loss would be 3 points on the road against the top 5 team in Alabama, what would you have said?
I would have taken that. I really would have. Obviously, I would have been greedy and light and said, maybe let's go undefeated, but 4-1, I mean, come on. The teams that we played, that's a great feat.
When you assess what you've accomplished and where your team is, where are the areas that you feel as you go into conference play, you got to be a lot better?
Yeah, we got to rebound the ball better because teams are scouting us and seeing that we don't box out a lot. So I've challenged the team to kind of, sure that up to where we can box out because we're making them miss the initial shot. We get the rebound, then that's in our favor. But if they get a second chance, we have to do better with that. Offensively, moving the ball and moving bodies better.
It seems like it's pretty obvious that this group's a little bit different, no?
Yeah, this group is different. And that's the reason why we were 6-1 against Power 5 schools and 4-1 against the SEC because they don't have quit. They're connected more than any team that I've ever had. They're tough. They don't back down from anyone, and you saw that this year early.
When you mentioned you show these guys what they did or didn't do, in particular boxing out or, as you said, movement on offense, you go back and look at clips and show them, you do it in practice teaching combination. How do you do that?
Yeah, we have a great video guy / assistant director of basketball operations in Jordan Verhulst. He puts the film together. He'll call me. He'll say, hey, what do you want to look at? We'll talk about it. He'll get some stuff himself, and we'll piece that together, and we'll go into our film room and watch it just to show the guys the good and the bad, because you need to show them both. But we definitely emphasize more on, hey, if we shore these things up, if we get these right or make these areas better, then, man, we'll be tougher to beat.
You talk about teaching tape and playing those teams early in the season that, who knows, you might end up seeing in March. But what is the value of that down the road, regardless of whether you see those teams or not?
No, the value is enormous, meaning that we played these really good teams that are probably like 80% or more are probably going to be in the NCAA tournament or win their conferences. And to have that experience, you're not afraid of anything. We played a lot of, some road games, some tough road games, and some tough games in neutral sites. Neutral sites are what the NCAA is all about. So for us, we've already played those games physically, and in our minds, we know what that feels like.
Where does this new mental toughness come from?
I think it's that leadership. I think Alo and DeAndre are very well aware of what you just said, that in the past we didn't win those games because of mental lapses and not being mentally strong. And Kendrick Davis thrusted that through the roof for us because of his mental toughness and how confident he is. And we take on that swagger that he has and Alo has and DeAndre have. And from past experiences of being there for their hunger and his hunger together, and the rest of the team willing to follow, that's what's happening right now.
Of the non-conference wins, do you have a favorite that comes to mind?
Non-conference wins, I think you have to talk about Auburn because they were undefeated and they were number 11 in the country at the time. That was a big win for us.
Were you surprised at how well you guys were able to really control that game throughout?
I'm not surprised about the outcome. I'm surprised that my guys, that was a home game for Auburn. If you went in there, it was like orange everywhere. And it was like an NCAA tournament game. So I'm proud that the guys overlooked that and were able to sustain that energy from their crowd and still push away, man. I knew that we could beat them, but that crowd made it a little more difficult.
You have talked the last 2 years, really, about being the walking wounded, about all the injuries. And if we go back to your playing days, I don't believe players miss practice as much or even games as much as they do now.
Yeah.
Is that because those kids never stop and they play so much competitive basketball in the summer, or you don't take a summer off, you guys are always lifting and practicing? What do you attribute to so many injuries, not just with the Tigers, I think in all of college basketball?
I think the reason of the injuries to me in this era is less activity. More phones. In our era, we played ball all day, all night. We were in the gym all day, all night, running and jumping, playing. And to me, that made us better. Now, most guys are sitting down in a chair or a desk, or even on their beds or on the couch in their apartments, just on the phone. Not enough activity.
Does your own experience with injuries in your playing days shape the way you treat that?
Yeah, for sure. When I went to the NBA, it was the first time that I had ever been injured. And it was definitely a mental shock for me because I had never missed games. And with handling those experiences of how I got injured and how I had to come back, of course, now being the head coach at Memphis, anybody gets hurt or injured, I know I'm very sympathetic towards that because I know how hard it is to come back from those injuries.
One good thing now is even from your playing days, which isn't all that long ago, the rehab techniques, medicine now are so much better that you can get healed much quicker.
Yeah, the technology and everything from how they do surgeries and how they can get you better. It's so much better now back than it was in the day. I think they had the gerbil in the the gerbil running to get us back on the electricity back in the day. But now it's so much technology that we have in our training room.
Yeah, I fed the gerbil.
Count them, not one, but 4 Lawson brothers that played at U of M. 2 of them are on this year's team, and we'll sit down with them. Coming up next.
You're watching The Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control.
Welcome back to the Penny Hardaway Show. The Lawson family is synonymous with Memphis basketball. Dietrich and KJ have already passed through here and left quite the legacy. And now Chandler and Jonathan are out to do the same thing. The very first question I have to ask you guys, what were pickup games at the Lawson house like growing up?
It was competitive and fun, just like playing against my big brothers and getting the field, playing against older guys, just made me better as an overall player to this day.
It's always been competitive in the house. You always want to win versus your older brothers, get the winning streak going every day in the backyard. Just, there's always a battle playing against my older brothers. I always be me and Dietrich versus him and KJ, so we always keep that battle going.
Did it extend beyond basketball? What else were we looking at there?
Football, tag, you don't want to get tagged. We do everything. Like, throw socks at each other, you don't want to get hit. We try to, like, make it fun around the house.
Games, bowling, whatever we do, we just compete as a family, really. Just keep that competitive edge.
Chandler and Jonathan are numbers 3 and 4 in the Lawson brother lineage. KJ, the oldest, played 2 years with the Tigers and won AAC Freshman of the Year as a redshirt in 2017. Diedrich was a McDonald's All-American out of Hamilton High School, who also went on to win Conference Freshman of the Year with Memphis.
Yeah, he like paved the way. Like, he gave us hope, you know. Like, growing up in Memphis, really not too much hope, but Penny Hardaway, he'll give us hope, and after seeing Dietrich get that big accomplishment for our family, that's really like a proud moment for everyone.
I took away a lot from them. Like, they really paved the way for me, and it was really easy for me because I saw what they went through and what they had did to get where they at, and how they played when they was out there. So I saw everything from being the youngest out of all of us.
Chandler won 3 state titles at Memphis East under Penny Hardaway. But unlike his older 2 brothers who started their collegiate careers with the Tigers, Chandler took his talents to Oregon out of high school.
Yeah, I want to do something different. I want to get away from the town and just like put my destiny somewhere else besides in the South. I want to like go somewhere far away and put the Lawson on the map that way. And I think I did a good job winning there because we won Pac-12 like 2 years. So I got 2 rings there, so I pretty much did what I can do there.
What brought you back?
I just saw all of my friends and family, like, it looked fun on TV watching those guys like play together, and I like want to come back and just do it for my city and just win something for my city. Just like this is something I want to do as a youngin', so I just want to come back and just do that when I got older.
Coming home was one factor in Chandler returning to the 901, and then there was Jonathan's impending college decision. The youngest Lawson brother is the only player in TSSAA history to win 3 state titles at 3 different schools, and these 2 wanted to team up one more time.
It was most likely we're going to play together, and where we go, we're going to play together because it's going to be our last time playing with each other, period, in our whole life, unless we go pro on the same team somewhere. But that was a big deal of it.
It's big, you know what I'm saying? Playing with another brother is just like seeing guys in the NBA playing with their brothers. It's just like a dream come true. Always playing with another family member on your side. You always know someone on the team that got your back.
Chandler is one of the elder statesmen on this year's team, passing down game to the younger players, including Jonathan.
He inspired me a lot because he told me what to expect on the court, off the court, and just keep me motivated, really.
And Jonathan is starting to find his footing at this level. Chandler is taking notice.
He's grown a lot over the years, you know, by staying patient. You know, the key word is patient. When you come out of high school, you gotta have patience with this new basketball journey because you never know when your moment is gonna come. You can always have ups and downs. Always gotta stay patient, stay right in the middle. Don't have your head up high, don't have your head low. Just stay ready when your moment comes.
At the end of the day, 4 brothers playing for the same university in a basketball city. The Lawson family is going to leave behind a legacy with this program. When I say that, what comes to mind?
Just come excitement, really. It's a lot of excitement, full of joy, really. At the end of the day, just having put the smile on my parents' face. Great for raising us the right way.
It's just history for our family, just to look back on it as we get older. Like, all of us went through this path, and just look back how much we can laugh at, who win, who did this and that, and we can just, it's still like a competitive nation. When we get older, still gonna have that competitive, like, who had more points, did more stats, and all this and that. So it'll be great in the future.
For both of you, just how do you put into words how much fun this is right now?
I can't even put in words how fun it is. It's just, I don't know how to describe it, but it's been a fun year playing with him and my teammates. You know, we got more to prove and we got more excitement to bring out to you guys.
Yeah, it's been very exciting just playing with him and a lot of guys that I grew up with and just the new pieces that came to building a relationship with my new teammates and just go out there ready to go to war and win it.
Is this, you guys sitting here together, part of the same team, really good team at that, has a chance to do some big things this year. Are you guys, in a sense, living out a dream right now?
Yes, sir. It's a dream come true. And we just both trying to win at the highest level that we've been on so far. So we just really trying to bring a championship to the city.
When you think about the Lawsons and Memphis basketball, it's kind of like talking about the Mannings and college football in this area. When's the first time you knew about the Lawsons?
The first time I knew about the Lawsons, I came home maybe during a Christmas holiday from the NBA, like we had a break or something, and I went to a middle school game with Craigmont Middle. I saw a young Dedrick Lawson and a young KJ Lawson. And I was like, man, they're pretty good. And they were like, well, yeah, they have two younger brothers, Chandler and Jonathan, that are going to be as good, pretty good as well. And that was my first experience. I think KJ was in the 8th and Dedrick was in the 7th grade.
Wow.
So then you get the chance to coach Chandler at East, win a state title there in 2018. He goes to Oregon as you're coming here. Did you feel like that was almost important for him to maybe forge his own path in a way?
Yeah, I think Chandler and I won 3 championships together, which is even better. But I think so. I think he wanted to broaden his horizons. I think Oregon was an unbelievable choice for him. They played a lot of zone. He played zone in high school, so it was a perfect fit for him. And I was proud of his choice.
Now, Jonathan played for you the last year you coached, right? I'm trying to remember all of them, but he won one at Wooddale, he won one with you, won one with Houston High School. Did he win another one in there? I think he
has
won
3, Chandler has 4.
Yeah, Chandler has 4.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's just something about the pedigree.
It's a bunch of championships in that family, though. I'm just telling you.
How would you describe, since you've seen them all from such a young age, the evolution of their games and just the different styles of players that you have there? Yeah,
Chandler is just vocal, everything, do it all, for you. Just going to be the guy that's going to just do everything. He can guard 1 through 5. He's a communicator. He can make plays. Jonathan is a playmaker, high IQ. Making shots now, and he's worked on his game. And at 6'8", being at the guard position is pretty darn good.
Another home conference matchup awaits the Tigers. We'll preview ECU coming up next.
You're watching The Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control. Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
I guess when we talk about the East Carolina Pirates, a lot of changes. One thing you cannot take away, they have a signature win. They beat South Carolina this year.
Yeah, East Carolina is one of those teams that doesn't get any respect, but they earned their respect by beating South Carolina. Whole new program pretty much with the staff in there, new guys, but still they play very hard. They get every ounce of energy out of those kids.
How do you assess? Obviously, we've heard all year about Houston. We know they're going to be there probably until the end. You guys are right in the mix. How do you assess the rest of the conference from what you've seen so far?
If I had to assess the rest, I would put Cincinnati right behind us in Houston. I'd put Tulane because they returned their entire team right behind them. And then from there, so many new pieces. SMU is new. Wichita State pretty much is new, even though they have the same coaching staff. All the guys transferred out. So there's a lot of transfers out and transfers in. So UCF, I would put up there as well. They gained some big wins over there. They beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss.
That was tonight's AutoZone Road Ahead. AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination and official sponsor of Tiger Athletics. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
East Carolina's been tricky a couple times over the last few years. This will be a good table setter. Back with an end to 2022 in just a minute.
You're watching The Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control.
That'll do it for this show. For all of us who put this thing together, happy, healthy 2023.
The Penny Hardaway Show is presented by Cook's Pest Control. You don't have to live with pests. Call Cook's Pest Control and get a free quote today. Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams. Tiger Bookstore, the official merchandiser of Tiger Athletics. AutoZone, when you've got car trouble, you want help from #1. So if you've got a battery problem, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone, and is supported by your Memphis area Toyota dealers. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.